Welcome to Mommy's on a Call, your sacred space to laugh, learn, and feel like a real grown-up human for a hot minute. I'm Stephanie Uchima Carney, a mom of 3 under 6, serial entrepreneur, business strategist, and donut connoisseur, just trying to get through the day one cold cup of coffee at a time. I believe that with more intention, a positive mindset, and self-care, it is possible to thrive in motherhood, business, and life. My mission is to uncover the daily rituals, life lessons, real-life tactics, and favorite tools to inspire and empower you, mommy, to get the most out of life every single unpredictable day. So grab your headphones, tell your kids you're on the potty, and tune in weekly for some laughs, knowledge bombs, and plenty of real talk with real moms, and maybe a dad or two. Welcome to the Mommy Pod. Hello and welcome back to Mommy's on a Call. Today I'm bringing to you a special bonus episode doing a little bit of a recap of the last month of podcast episodes. In April and May, I decided to bump up the number and do 2 a week, but because of that, we've been just so jam-packed with amazing content that I wanted to debrief a minute and give you a few of my favorite takeaways from some of the episodes. I can't believe we're almost halfway through the year, and as we emerge out of quarantine and back into society, everything that was slow-paced is quickly disappearing. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed by all the things. So I thought I'd take a minute to stop, breathe, and sort of reflect back on what has been going on. So a lot has happened in May, and this last full moon eclipse too has the woo-woo side out of me, and made me think about, releasing things in my life. Full moons are all about letting go, but this one was really powerful. And like many of you out there, the last 16 months has been this crazy journey. For me, it was not only facing everything in 2020, but also having my 3rd kid. And now that she's a year old, just having a 1, 3, and 6-year-old, just really thinking about what I want professionally and personally as we all emerge into this almost like new world. So for me, a big part of figuring this out has been personal development. And over the last 5 years, in about 2016, I started to really dabble in, what is personal development? What is all of this? And in January 2017, many of you have heard my story that I really took a dive into it when I hit kind of a motherhood wall and this whole, what am I doing? Who am I? And all of this. And so a lot of this mindset work and journey into discovering who I am and who I am in this season of motherhood came out of this journey into personal development. How I show up in life as a mom, as a wife, as an entrepreneur, a friend, etc. And so to wrap up the month of May, I wanted to share some of my biggest takeaways from the podcast episodes in the last month, because I saw a common theme really going on through all of those. And that common theme was just mindset. Even if we were talking about parenting or building a business or how to be happy, at the root of it all was mindset. And mindset's kind of an interesting topic because I feel like it's becoming this buzzword, and it's sort of this chicken or an egg. Like, you need to shift your mindset to make huge changes and leaps in your life. But then on the other hand, no one really sells mindset. You don't really go out and look to buy a program on mindset because a lot of times we don't even know that that is the thing that we truly, truly need. And if you're at your very beginning of your journey, I hope this episode and some of these podcast episodes kind of awaken you to being aware that focusing on you and your mindset is extremely important in achieving everything that you want. So, making this episode pretty quick, I just wanted to give some of my top 5 takeaways for the last few podcast episodes. My first major takeaway came from all of them, actually, and it's the focus on awareness being the first step in mindset work. And it started with episode 60 with Mary Huang. We talked all about how she fled a toxic marriage, and that started just with her awareness of the situation. And she fled this toxic marriage and took her 2 kids. And her story is so deep and incredible. So definitely take a listen to it. We talk a lot about parenting and creating empowered children. But really, I thought that this focus on being aware. And so, for example, if you didn't know you needed to work on mindset work, hopefully this is kind of a trigger, that you should be aware of what's going on. And you don't have to have everything figured out or perfected. But I think what's important is that we're aware of what's triggering us, aware of our situations, and aware when mindset issues come up. And it's a constant work in progress. So I'll give you an example of something that actually just happened to me this week. This week, I saw something that was extremely triggering. It brought up stuff that a situation I was in a few years ago. But I mean, when I saw this, it like suddenly made my blood boil. Like I wanted to punch this person through my phone, and they didn't even do anything to do this. Like they didn't mean to do this. All of the emotions of that situation just kind of flooded in, and I started texting my friend in a rant. And then I stopped and I took a breath, and I decided to choose awareness, and awareness of how this situation was triggering me. And I acknowledged these feelings that were coming in, and I stopped and I asked myself, why? Why is something like this that happened years and years ago still bothering me? I started to become aware of what my body was doing, how I was getting clenched up and all of the blood rushing and just kind of this like rage. And I stopped and I took awareness of what my mind was doing and the spiral that I was going down. And so my first step was really shifting my mindset. So I continued texting my friend about why this bothered me so much, but I stopped and I said, but I realized that I am triggered because of X, Y, and Z. And I kind of knew why. But if I years ago had happened, it would have ruined my day. And I would have just brought all this negative energy in, and I would have just gone down this rabbit hole. But instead, I thanked that kind of situation I was just put in for bringing up this stuff that I had kind of compressed in the past and never healed from, and realized that this is something that I need to kind of put on my list to dive deeper into and really look into the situation so that I can heal whatever that root cause is. So that's just kind of like one of the things. So one of my big takeaways from all of these episodes was just an awareness, being aware of things when they come up, asking yourself why is this triggering to me? Asking yourself, why am I feeling this way? Whether it's health-wise, whether it's emotional, whatever that is, just being really aware. The second biggest takeaway, I think, came out of episode 62 on Imposter Syndrome with Alex Garzaro. This episode I absolutely loved. She goes through her 6 different archetypes of imposter syndrome, which were the perfectionist, the soloist, the natural genius, the expert, the superhero, and her newest one, the transformer. I think just really understanding imposter syndrome and how that hinders you in your mind and how that really stops you from maybe doing things that you really want to do is, again, a really big awareness on moving forward in your life. So I think, honestly, her episode was one of my favorite episodes to date on the podcast. I don't like saying that because I love all my episodes, but I thought just really diving deep on imposter syndrome could help so many of you mamas out there. The third takeaway was from episode 63 with Bethany Braun Silva. We talked all about how she took a week off to stop, rest, really journal about her goals and stuff to really uncover what you're passionate about. And I thought this was so important. We don't take time out of our schedules to really work on ourselves. Like we were busy with the kids. We have, all the laundry list of stuff we're doing. And I love that she took time off of work, a week off, to do whatever she needed, whether it was to heal her body, whether it was to journal and really think about her goals and what she wanted. Whatever that was, is to really just uncover and discover, what are you passionate about? What do you want to do? And I think we need that space and time and silence in order to do that. And I know a lot of you out there are saying, oh, that's great. Like, I wish I had the time to do that. But it's really important that you make the time to do that you schedule it in, even if it's like 8 hours in a day and you just take that quote working time and convert that into you time. I think just taking that break, I love the idea of taking a work staycation where you lock yourself up in a hotel room or go somewhere outside and just kind of focus on your business or whatever that is. I think it's so important. So I love that episode. We also talk about all the things. She is one of the editors at What to Expect. So tune into that episode. The fourth major takeaway I got was from episode 66 with Jennifer Blossom. We talked all about releasing perfectionism and creating tiny habits. And I know I struggle with perfectionism. That's one of the imposter syndrome archetypes. And it's just like learning how to release that and creating tiny micro healthy habits in order for you to just take one step forward. So if you have a dream, a goal, whatever that might be, even in motherhood. So her whole concept is blossoming moms, and she talks to moms and really helps them through this season of motherhood. And I love that we just kind of dissect it. I think, again, as I said, moms, we get so busy and we get this stuck in our mind that we have to be the perfect mom. We have to be the perfect everything, or the opposite. We are the hot mess mom, but we start to embody those things. And instead of typing ourselves, to start to come out of that. And in order to do things, in order to create time, you have to create these tiny habits, whether it's figuring out a way to batch, your laundry, or figuring out a way to outsource your groceries, or figuring out different ways to create pockets of time for you. The final takeaway is kind of mindset, but more of a support system. So episode 64 with Corey Spiegel, we talked all about creating a personal board of directors for your life. And it comes out of that concept of having a mommy and me group. When you have a baby, we all go to these mommy and me's. It starts to kind of stop around toddlers. And then suddenly you're out into this world and you don't have that same support system you had when you were trying to raise this little human. And so I thought it was great because we talked all about how you really need this personal system in your life, the support system, regardless of where you are in your life. Because really shifting your mindset of asking for help, of opening up to others who might be struggling with the same things, finding those group of people, finding your tribe is really important in helping you move to that next level. Whether it's hiring a mentor, whether it's just finding a group to be a part of, whether it's attending classes, whatever that is, to kind of find those people in your life that you can build around you to support you. That goes beyond not just childcare or your generic support system, but really kind of like a company, having a board of directors to help advise you and support you. So I hope you go back and you listen to the episodes from May. I thought they were super great, and they all really talked about mindset and really just those tiny shifts in your mindset that can really help you to become a better version of yourself, because anything is possible if you put your mind to it. And mindset is truly the core of everything, regardless if you're building a business from 0 to 100,000 to 100 million, whether it's being a mom or whether it's just being happy. So hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Enjoy Memorial Day, and I will see you in June. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Mommy's on a Call. Your support means the absolute world to me. You can find the show notes for this episode and other goodies over at mommysonacall.com. And if you enjoyed this episode or have gotten value from the podcast, I would be so grateful if you could head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and review so that we can reach and empower more moms all over the world together. Thank you so much again, Mommy Pod, and I will see you here next time.